Hello, everybody. I'm just sitting up here in my hotel room, watching stuff go down here on the highway. Looks like somebody got pulled over. I don't know how serious this is. I saw a dog. They had a dog out. I assume it was a police dog. I don't know what the dog was doing. It was one of those sniffing dogs. I guess dogs sniff different things. You got your weed sniffing dogs. You got your meth sniffing dogs. Your cocaine sniffing dogs, your bomb sniffing dogs, your murder sniffing dogs, your money sniffing dogs. Wonder what kind of sniffing dog that was. Yeah, slow down. Someone just drove pretty close to those police. I'm gonna turn the light off so we can see a little bit. There we go. Yeah, people need to move over. When I'm driving on the highway, I always try to get over, get left. Try not to drive close to the police car, because believe it or not, these police officers get struck on the side of the road. I don't know where the sniffing dog went. I do like this hotel room. I love being able to watch the road, the highway. My bedroom growing up overlooked the road in front of the house. I don't know. I find traffic to be very relaxing in a way, which is not good while you're driving. Traffic. Hey, come on, move over, guys! Look at this. You got the whole. How many lanes are there? There's 4 lanes of traffic. There's no reason that people need to be driving this close to the police. Oh, looks like they let him go. False alarm. Maybe they just needed to give the car a sniff and then let everything go on. Scott Felton, thank you for the super chat. It says, Jacob is the best. I don't know if I'm the best, but I do appreciate the super chat. All right, so that traffic stop went smoothly. No one got arrested. No one got clipped. No one got clipped by an oncoming car. So I call it a success. Oh, well, hello there. Oh, look at that. We set up the live stream here. Set it up a little bit there. And you guys can watch that traffic go by while we chat. That's pretty fun. How's everyone doing this fine night? Nate's here and there says, can I ask you something? When you started YouTube, did you upload every day? How did you upload when you started? I did not upload every day when I started. I just, it was a hobby. I did it when I could. And I'm trying to think. I go through periods. Of uploading every day. Then I may switch to every other day. It just depends. Mark Reardon, thank you for the super chat. It says, can you please visit a Hello Kitty cafe? Where are the Hello Kitty cafes? I guess I have to go in here because Some people are choosing to spam the chat. Actually, I'm gonna get rid of you for spamming. And then I will adjust the rules here because apparently some people just can't handle the responsibility of chatting. Let's see. All right, I put it into subscriber mode. That just means you have to be a subscriber to comment. If you're not a subscriber, you can start commenting after 5 minutes. I don't think that's that long to wait. Caleb Smith, thank you for the super chat. Says, any chance of doing a Southern Ontario trip, sometime Buffalo, Niagara Falls to Detroit, Windsor, or other directions, I guess? Lots of stuff to see. I've been to Niagara Falls a lot. There's some parts of Canada I've not seen. So, I don't know. I thought someday, what's the Trans-Canadian, there's like a Trans-Canadian highway, one that like drives all the way across Canada. But I was actually looking at like, if you look at Google Maps, if you try to take the train, like, I like tried to see the distance like from, you know, west coast of Canada to east coast of Canada. And it, like literally, like if you try to go between provinces, it tells you to cut into the United States and drive back up. So I don't know how many people actually drive all the way across Canada. I think there's a lot of empty space in between the different major cities in Canada. So I don't know. It made me nervous that it wanted me to dip back into the US in between each city. Mogbet says hello from Puyallup, Washington. I believe Puyallup, Washington is where they have the Washington State Fair. And see, because of all that information I have in my brain, that's why I can't remember anything. Marky Reardon, thank you for the super chat. It says Hello Kitty Cafe is in, I think, Vegas in California. Okay. I remember, I think I was staying at New York in Las Vegas, and I think there was like a Hello Kitty food truck. J5 Studios, how are you doing, buddy? Met yesterday at the Frogman Festival. Thank you for the super chat. This is a great meeting at the Frogman Festival. Gave you a J5 pin and talked about the Merchant Ball. Also, Wordy Harding, Morian. Oh, hope you got sleep. I got a little bit of sleep. I did go out filming today. I don't know. So people asking about AEW Revolution. I'm not planning on watching it tonight. You know, it's $50 to watch a pay-per-view, and usually me and Jen will pay the $50 and watch it together. But I don't know. I don't know if I really want to pay $50 to watch it by myself, because there's really maybe one and a half matches that I'm interested in seeing. Ryan and Nodal. So Jacob, thank you for the video the other day that it's okay to like things that bring you joy like Disney. I got grief from my family for having a Mickey's plush. I'm really touched by all the responses I got on that video. And I'm really glad I made that video, and I'm really glad I talked about that, because I think that's something a lot of us are faced with and a lot of us deal with. You know, a lot of times I talk about, you know, I talk about things on the channel that just are in my head, and sometimes I find out that a lot of people go through the same issues. Cole Morris, thank you for the super chat. Let's see your cryptid tattoo. Got my cryptid tattoo right there. It's funny. I always wear a shirt. I never wear sleeveless shirts, so hardly anyone ever sees this tattoo, as big as it is. Oh yeah, the Dark Ride, SpongeBob Dark Ride, I definitely want to check out. I don't know when I'm going to get to Vegas next, but oh, someone asking if I'm going to be at the Spirit Halloween opening day. I don't know if I'm going to be able to do it this year. May have some conflicting plans. Matthew Spazoff, thank you for the super chat. When are you going to visit Tokyo Disneyland? I would love to visit Tokyo Disneyland. I just don't know about getting over to Japan. Bridger Andrews says, I didn't know there was subscriber only mode. Shouldn't it be default though? Well, normally anyone can chat, whether or not they're a subscriber. One of the problems is, you get people that want to harass the chat and they just create a bunch of fake profiles so that they can bother people. Yeah, I hope I got across what I was saying in that video, because it's important to me. Like, it was a really big part of me kind of figuring out myself and figuring out what I wanted to do with my life. Just a lot of my life, people telling me that I needed to act a certain way, or, that liking certain things wasn't okay, or acting certain ways wasn't okay. And just when I chose to live as myself, that I had a lot more happiness in my life. Coaster Trek, thank you for the super chat. Says, hope you are doing well. Since Cincinnati's Coney Island will not be opening this year, have you ever gone there? I have never been there, to be honest with you. I wish I had now. Marky Reardon, thank you for the super chat. Caleb Smith, thank you for the super chat. If you ever do come through Southern Ontario, come see Jumbo the Elephant in St. Thomas. There's some Barnum circus history behind it. So Ontario has a Jumbo the Elephant, like a statue of Jumbo. I mean, I know who Jumbo the Elephant is, but I didn't know what is there in Ontario that okay. I was saying, am I saying Ontario right? Yes, I'm saying Ontario right. My Swiftie? No, I don't listen to Taylor Swift. My daughter really likes Taylor Swift though. Awake says you should visit abandoned buildings and do commentary. It would improve the channel. I used to visit a lot of abandoned buildings, and that used to be the most popular content on my channel. And now I went through a while without uploading it, because it's not really the content that I was most passionate about. And the interesting thing is, when I do show abandoned stuff, people don't seem that interested anymore. Marky Reardon, thank you for the super chat. Says, forgot to add a comment on the last one. Oh, I'm sorry. There's a Hello Kitty truck that goes to different states too. The merch is cool. I will look out. I will look out for the Hello Kitty Cafe. I know Jen would enjoy that. Any signs of activity with the new doll? No, not really. Tommy Travels, thank you for the super chat. Says, there's nothing childish about being yourself. Keep up the great work. Well, thank you. Road Trip Treasure says, did you get my email about the haunted deer skull? I don't think I did. I will check though. I will get into my email and look for that. Do you have a haunted deer skull? Jeremy Naylor says, just curious what graphic software you use for your thumbnails. I do not make my thumbnails. My thumbnails, I make everything on this channel, except I don't do anything with graphic design. I don't do anything with animation. That's majority of the graphic design and animation is done by Creaties. If you want to look up Creaties on Instagram. Caleb Smith, thank you for the super chat. Says, I really enjoy your back roads, off the beaten path content that you upload. Abandoned stuff is too risky. Abandoned stuff is risky. Back when I was a little bit younger and a little more stupid, I didn't mind going into abandoned buildings as much. I really, honestly, guys, I did some things that I should not have done that were just dangerous and kind of irresponsible. But, I try to be more responsible these days. I don't regret it. I just look at that and I'm like, man, what was I thinking? Pierce out, thank you for the super chat. Do you and other YouTubers have a group chat? No, believe it or not, I don't know all that many. Well, I don't know what to say. Mary Hendricks, thank you for the super chat. No, I have friends that are other YouTubers, but it's informal. There's not like a meeting of YouTubers. Um, you know, the YouTubers I know are generally the ones you've seen in my videos. Um, I may have chatted with a few other people. Some are acquaintances, some I know, just that I've run into, met, and some of them are really good friends. Lisa Pratt, thank you for the super chat. Thank you for all the videos, Jacob, you and Jen. Oh my gosh, Travis Nosfigure says, can we get your thoughts about the world-famous Scotland Willy Wonka experience? I was hoping someone would ask. If I would have paid $40, I guess it was $40 to go to the Willie's, what's it called? Willie's Chocolate Experience in Scotland, I would have been very amused. Like, that was so crappy that I would have been impressed. I would have been impressed with his crappiness, as I think the world is. That's why so many people are talking about it. The level of crappiness. I know, a lot of people were saying the strangest part of it is that they actually tried to do an event. It would have made more sense if they just kept everyone's money and didn't have an event, but they tried to have this event that they spent no money on, this embarrassing event. And I don't know, my favorite part is they actually had a evil dark character that scared all the kids called the Unknown. Apparently the entire script was written by AI, so the Unknown is literally a character, this uncreative character come up with by AI. Jeffrey Koth, thank you for the super chat. Says, a couple points of interest in Cincinnati: Munchkinville, President William Henry Harrison's tomb, Washington, Chile. William Henry Harrison, the guy that died in 30 days. Danny Berkebile, thank you for the super chat. This is the Night of the Living Dead Museum. That's there at Night of the Living Dead Museum in the Monroeville Mall. I've been to the Living Dead Museum. It used to have a different location. It moved out of the mall. I think it's moved back into the mall. I need to get back to the mall and then check in with it, because I really enjoyed my visit there when I went there a few years ago. My glasses look crooked for some reason. Okay, I think that's better. I'm pretty much against AI. I'm not saying that it doesn't have some beneficial uses. I just don't like the idea of creative people being out of work because of AI. I think AI has some uses as I think a good thing it can do is maybe help restore old footage, vintage footage. It can help bring that back to life. But the idea of it creating characters and writing books or movies is just kind of reprehensible. It's we created something, we knew, we had to do these movies. It's literally almost it's almost hilarious that we have all these movies about what's going to destroy us and we just made it anyways. Jay Smooth says, what's your opinion on tapirs? Tapirs are kind of like an animal that's kind of like a pig and an elephant combined. But I like them. Smoky Mountain Faith Food and Fun, thank you for the super chat. It says, good evening from the Smokies. We sent an email about our friend Mark Pedro from Crisis Gardens and a video we're working on. I don't think I saw your email, but I know Mark Pedro. Mark is a great guy. He saved Christ in the Smokies when it first left Gatlinburg, when it was renamed Christ in the Smokies. And then And unfortunately, then it ended up closing out of his control. Rockin' Robin Bird RB, thank you for the super chat. Have you ever heard of the Dover Demon? I have. I've not been to that area. Apparently there's not much there. The town really doesn't lean into the Dover Demon. Betty Renault, thank you for the super chat. Says, good to see you really live, Jacob. Oh, you're welcome. Thank you for the super chat. I'm gonna visit Fiona at the Cincinnati Zoo. I'd like to go to the zoo. I don't know. My zoo videos don't do very good. I feel like you guys don't like my zoo videos. Skylar Jagger, thank you for the super chat. Says you should visit the Milan 54 Museum in Milan, Indiana. The real life team from Hoosiers, not far from Cincinnati. Thank you for the super chat. I've never seen the movie Hoosiers. That's one thing I do get a lot is I do get a lot of suggestions for like movie filming locations. And I'm not really a movie buff. Like Mary Hendricks, thank you for the super chat. I just wasn't like, I didn't grow up around, like, I haven't seen a lot of the movies that most people have seen. I'm more so, not as much anymore. I have tried to make a point to like fill in my pop culture gaps and see, the movies that get talked about a lot. But like I just didn't grow up around a lot of those kind of movies, pop culture type movies. Floyd Pepper, thank you for the super chat. My mom pretty much does not watch movies, like never has, never. I'm sure she watches movies, but just not really into movies or television. My mom, just interested in other things. My dad likes movies, but his taste in movies is more specific. When he would go get movies from the movie store, like he would only get like he would never rent any movies that were like made past the 1980s. Like he really liked movies from the 60s, 70s, and 80s. Wasn't really interested in watching new movies. So like Kyle Walker, thank you for the super chat. I love zoo videos way more than movie locations. Zach Grant, thank you for the super chat. So yeah, I like didn't grow up. So like I had like no exposure to like action movies, if that made sense. The big 80s and 90s action movies, like no one around me watched them. My dad didn't watch them. My mom didn't watch them. I don't think my stepdad may have watched them. My stepdad was really into horror movies. Not my current stepdad, my former stepdad. And unfortunately, like he did watch like horror movies like around me when like he shouldn't have been. Like I remember seeing like Halloween, Poltergeist, not the whole things, but like just in the room and seeing like clips of Halloween, Poltergeist, stuff that like scared the crap out of me. Paula Moreland, thank you for the super chat. I think that kind of turned me off of horror movies. They scared me when I was a kid because I got exposed to them when I shouldn't have been. But then I kind of came around. I think my curiosity kind of came around, and I've gone back and watched them myself now that I'm older. Samantha Sledge, thank you for the super chat. So if you're ever in Southern Maryland, there are two great museums together you can visit: the Calvert Marine Museum and Naval Air Museum. Jeff Thompson, thank you for the super chat. Says, now that you have a red car, have you noticed how many red cars are on the road? I sure did. It's not been long. It's only been like a week. So I don't know if I've been paying very close attention. Green River Mustangs, thank you for the super chat. It says, met you today at Trader's World. Shh, don't tell everyone. Don't tell everyone where I was today. It was great to meet you. Ella says, hey Jacob, huge fan of your amusement park and carnival fair related stuff. My question is, out of the rides you've gone on, for the viewers, which one was the scariest experience? Basically Cape, thank you for the super chat. Have you ever visited Cape Canaveral? I have visited Cape Canaveral. I was down that way recently when I was in Florida. But back to Jeff, let me see. I was going to answer a question here. Someone was asking about the scariest. Did I miss that? Okay, someone was asking about the scariest ride. For some reason, I can't find that comment now. Andrew W., come to Reaper's Realm in October, Sombra, Ontario. Thank you for the super chat. I will, I don't know if I'll be in Ontario for October, but there's always the possibility. Pamela Moreland, thank you for the super chat. All right, so I lost the comment. There was a comment of asking, I did want to answer about the, let me get all the super chats first. Kelly Benko, thank you for the super chat. We need more merch. Any plans for shirts? I have not added any new designs to my shirt shop for quite some time. So I don't have any plans for new stuff. Spreadshirts worked for me, but I'd love to, I don't know. I've always wanted to take it to the next step with the shirts. I've just not had time. Eric Ertel, thank you for the super chat. Says, hi, Jacob. I watched horror movies when I was a kid, too. Are you going to watch AEW Revolution? I don't think so. I just can't justify spending $50 by myself when there's only one match I care about. So let's go back. The scariest ride. I do want to answer that question. Someone said the zipper. That's a good answer. But I think, like, if you watch the videos on my channel, I think the most scared I've ever been on a ride, for this channel, may have been, it's just jumping into my head, I think it was Iron Gwazi at Busch Gardens, Tampa Bay. I sat in the front row. I never rode it before. I sat in the front row so I could get the best footage. I think I sat in the front row, if I remember correctly. Peter Beautiful, thank you for the super chat. When are you coming to wrestle for UPW? I'm not sure, buddy. Maybe we can make something work, but I appreciate the super chat. So, I just remember Iron Gwazi. So, for those of you not familiar with Iron Gwazi, it was a wooden roller coaster that they retrofitted and built a steel coaster on. The roller coaster enthusiasts, they call that, what do they call that? A hybrid coaster. And they're very popular amongst, the roller coaster hardcore community. What are roller coaster enthusiasts? What do they like to call themselves? I used to call them the Simpsons called them out of state roller coaster weirdos, but I don't think they like that term, so I don't want to call them by a term they don't like. But so it's a hybrid coaster. So it's very popular. But the thing about Iron Gwazi is, so let's say the coaster's down here. The lift hill comes up so high. The lift hill is twice as tall as the rest of the roller coaster. So you're up, up, up. And I remember looking down and you could see the entirety of the other roller coaster underneath you. And then you just go freaking straight down. And I was so scared that I didn't even know what to, I didn't even know how to react. I was just screaming. Wondering Wellness, RV, thank you for the super chat. Hi, Jacob. My partner and I are huge fans. Planning our first trip to Disney World. What's your favorite ride attraction there? Usually I say Haunted Mansion. Haunted Mansion's kind of my go-to as being one of my favorite attractions there. I love a lot of stuff there at Disney, so it's hard. But the Haunted Mansion's just such a masterpiece. Brendan Sweeney, thank you for the super chat. And I love the Hatbox Ghost. I love the animatronic. Do not like where it's at. Troy, thank you for the super chat. Brian Chevrier, thank you for the super chat. It says, now that you have a haunted doll, you should listen to the song Creepy Doll by Jonathan Colton, or maybe Jenny the doll will sing it to you. N372LB, thank you for the super chat. Have you looked at Entertainment Junction while in Cincinnati? I looked at it. I did not go today, but I did. It is on my radar. Jennifer Gerber, thank you for the super chat. Thank you guys so much for the generosity here. Brenda Sweeney, thank you for the super chat. Says, do you wrestle? Come to Omaha and do Scary Acres. Crystal Lockhart, thank you for the super chat. I am not. I wouldn't. I'm not gonna. I feel that calling myself a wrestler is an insult to wrestlers. I think to say that I'm a trained wrestler would be a gross exaggeration. Yes, I've had multiple wrestling matches that were able to take place because of the great work of other people covering up my deficiencies. Sean McKee, thank you for the super chat. Says, hello from Georgia. Me and my siblings love watching your videos and all the tourist traps. Never be afraid to stand out and do what makes you happy. Well, thank you so much. Sarah Wallace says, please explain Chaos Reigns with foxes. Okay, it's from a movie called Antichrist. And I would say go watch the movie, but actually don't. Don't go watch the movie. Please don't. Please. No. No one go watch Antichrist. Eric Daughtry says, new glasses? It's been a couple months, but thank you for the super chat. I've had these for a few months. Eric Airtel, thank you for the super chats. I can't wait for Epic Universe to open in 2025. If anything else I can go, the Donkey Kong ride looks awesome. Yes, I'm excited about it. Universal was kind enough to send me that the Kronos, the icon for Epic Universe. So hopefully, fingers crossed, maybe they'll send me an invitation. Hopefully, fingers crossed. Jennifer Gerber, thank you for the super chat. Fun spot in New Hampshire on Route 1 road trip. Fun spot, I believe it's an arcade. I think that's the one Billy Mitchell told me to go to. Yes, the Billy Mitchell told me to go there. Joth Rutherford, thank you for the super chat. The time you got zapped on the electric chair at the Mothman Festival, how hilarious. That was a real electric chair. I was really shocked. I did not know I would get shocked. Dan, PA, says Fire in the Hole opens March 9th. I don't think that's accurate. I believe it's March 30th. The park opens on the 9th, but my understanding is the park is opening without Fire in the Hole. The Fire in the Hole is not opening until the 30th. Rose Tint, my world, says top 3 cryptids. I'm going to guess Mothman, Frogman, and Hodag. Those are good guesses. I would say definitely Mothman and Hodag would be in there. Maybe Frogman? Definitely love me some Frogman. I'm trying to think if anything else bumps out. Because, like, you'd also have to put up there my favorites, like Flatwoods Monsters up there. I also like, the Jackalope. Jackalope is too classic, and Jackalope reminds me of the West. J5 Studios, thank you for the super chat. Says, hey, Jacob, forgot to tell you, my sister made you the crocheted Mothman you have in your bunker. Oh, thank you. Says, did you go to the Golden Lamb Hotel in Lebanon, Ohio? No, I've not heard of the Golden Lamb. Alex Rudzell says they came with a Mothman Magic the Gathering card. Yes, but it's not in the actual rotation of Magic the Gathering. It's in a special setup based on Fallout, which, by the way, I've never played Fallout, but apparently it has like a lot to do with kind of the cryptid craze that has come up in the last couple of years. It's really helped out the cryptid community. Nate's here and there. Thank you for the super chat. Says, you're the reason I started doing YouTube. Well, thank you. You know, if you love it, if you love it, do it. Don't let anything stand in your way. But I don't know. It's not. It's it depends on what you want from it. Haunt Matches is sad about Squonk, about MetaZoo. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't know if any of you are necessarily that familiar with MetaZoo, but MetaZoo was a card game that featured cryptids, and it was really popular. At least I think it was really popular. Coasters and Concerts 101. Thank you for the super chat. It's great meeting you at Cedar Point and IAPA. It's great meeting you as well. Shelby Richardson, thank you for the super chat. So MetaZoo is a card game where you played as different cryptids. And it would sponsor the events. They had a big booth at the Mothman Festival with a big balloon. I heard that the first sets of cards were worth tons of money for the people that got in. And then I don't know what happened because apparently it just vanished. They had the people that normally do the MetaZoo booth were there, but they said that MetaZoo was gone. They were trying to carry on with their own thing, but that MetaZoo is gone. I don't know. Anyone know any more information about it? Good vibes with Kaylee. Thank you for the super chat. Amanda S. Thank you for the super chat. You inspire me in so many ways. Just a simple thank you. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Hands full, heart full. How hard is doing your taxes as a YouTuber? It's incredibly hard. I can't do it myself. Jen, I give my information to Jen, and Jen gives it to the accountant. Zena Girl, thank you for the super chat. It says, I hope you get first dibs on Super Mario World in Orlando. I plan on hiding in one of the green pipes and living there. Wishing you safe and amazing travel. Thank you, Zena Girl. Yeah, I don't know. I'm probably most excited about the Dark Universe section, the universe, basically their Universal Monsters section. Zach Grant, thank you for the super chat. Says, do you have any plans to go to the new Ripley's location in Wisconsin Dells? Absolutely. I just need to get up there to Wisconsin. Elizabeth says, are you friends with Yankee in the South? Yeah, I love Will and Dawn. I have not seen them in a long time. Used to, when I would go to Gatlinburg and Pigeon Forge more often, I would run into them. But it's, Travis G says, can you please rename your car? Rosebud sounds ... I have no idea what that means. Sorry, buddy. Haunt Mash says new Ripley's. It's not technically a new Ripley's. It's a relocated Ripley's. They moved it from next door. Ryan Noldell says Wisconsin Ripley seems more like a playground. It was different. It was completely the Wisconsin Dells Ripley, and I don't know what the new one is like, but they did a lot of things at the Wisconsin Dells Ripley's that was completely different than other Ripley's. The theming was really good. They have like a area where you have to open secret doors in like this temple to reveal different artifacts. And there's also like a hidden place where you go up these stairs through a fireplace to see the Ripley's adult section, which, yeah, Ripley's adult section is pretty intense. And I think I always thought it was funny was that like they put this little area that you almost have to be small enough as a kid to climb up in, and that's the adult section. So you have to like duck into a fireplace and crawl up a tiny ladder. Master Toy Maker, thank you for the super chat. So glad you and Jen got together. You two are so fun. Even the video where you two are just driving and chatting was great. You and us are lucky to have her. I am very lucky to have Jen. She's been huge support in my life, and has really helped me kind of reestablish my life. Yeah, I don't know what is wrong with Rosebud for the car. I thought that was clever. I thought that was a rather clever suggestion. Hands full, heart full. Jacob was the best YouTuber not named Carpetbagger. Oh, that's hard. That's hard to say. It's very hard to say. Who's my favorite YouTuber? I don't know. One of my favorite wrestling channels is Wrestling with Regret with a W. That's a wrestling channel, not a travel channel. Shelby Richardson, thank you for the super chat. Says, thank you for making that content. Brings me happiness. You and Jen are the best, and I'm so thankful for your content. Ryan Odell says, just don't volunteer Jen again for the sideshow, LOL. You sounded maniacal. So Jen thought that I set that up. I actually did not. I met with Stitches before that just to say hello. You know, we are, like I said, the Stitches and his crew, friends of the channel. And he's like, oh, is Jen with you? I'm like, oh, Jen's coming. She's just not here. She's just running a little bit behind. And then apparently that's what he had cooked up. And that was actually, because he wanted to meet Jen. But that was funny, actually. The first time you met Jen was when she came up on stage. Wacky Bombaki is Tampa J cool? Yeah, Jay's a great guy. Am I planning on going to the 2024 Gatlinburg Cook-Off? I have a hard time. I have a hard time making it to the Gatlinburg Cook-Off. There's so much going on that time. It's always around the same time as IAPA, which means I'm going to be in Orlando. Splorin, thank you for the super chat. What does Adam think about your car? A very great question, Splorin. What does Adam think? That's really funny, by the way. It's funny. That video, the video of the two-headed T-Rex unveiling, multiple people said that was the best video I've ever posted on my channel. Multiple people also said that was the worst video I've ever posted on my channel. So very divisive. Apparently you either loved it or you hated it. Definitely... Random Man, thank you for the super chat. You are always so positive about all the cities and places you go. What's a city you've been that you hate? Oh, I don't think there's any city I hate. I mean, how could you hate a city? I mean, a city is composed of the people. There's something that's worthwhile in every city. I mean, there's things about cities I don't like. But I wouldn't say there's like one city that stands out as like, don't like it, don't like the people, don't like anything about it. This is just random. And I'm not necessarily calling out the whole state, but I hate driving in New Jersey because the roads are completely different. The layout of the roads is completely different than any other state. You're not allowed to pump your own gas. It's a headache. I will always try to make sure I have gas in my car when I head into New Jersey, so I don't need to stop and get gas there. The tolls are super expensive. And yes, Coaster Track, there's no U-turns. No U-turns. You can't if you miss your spot, you can't get turned around. You're going to drive 20 minutes out of your way before you find some sort of strange road configuration that will somehow allow you to get turned around. But besides that, there's fun stuff in New Jersey. Calvin Treywick says, if you go back around Hot Springs in October, they do a haunted attraction at the Magic Springs theme park called Magic Screams. They have a state fair then, 2 birds. Oh, I do need to do the Arkansas State Fair. Maybe Boogie will go with me. Maybe Boogie and Desi will go with me. For Liberty, thank you for the super chats. More dark rides. I agree. Now there's only a couple permanent dark rides I haven't been on, and they're new ones. And that's the treasure, pirate treasure thing in Monterey, California, and the new SpongeBob in Las Vegas. So I'm definitely gonna try to get out there. Nate's here and there. Thank you for the super chat. I was hoping to meet you and Janet last week in Charlotte. Oddity Security Expo. I was there when it opened. I think we showed up a little later in the day. Michael Burns says, did you make sure the alarm clock wasn't on when you got to the hotel? Also, is Amarillo one of your favorite towns? Route 66. No, I forget to check the alarms. Even after that happened to me, and I complained about it, I still didn't do anything about it. I love Amarillo as a Route 66 town. It's got Cadillac Ranch. It's got the big Texan Steakhouse. So to me, those are very, very iconic things. Rose Tint My World, thank you for the super chat. I regret not crafting you a gift yesterday. I decorate wreaths and baskets, but thank you for signing my Mothman toe. You're very welcome. You're very welcome. Magic Scholar says my mom's reaction to the two-headed T-Rex was wondering if it was meant as a response to all those who complained about all the child Elizabeth's places in the video. Yeah, I definitely wouldn't call the two-headed T-Rex show childish. Man, you guys, what time is it? I don't know, can I even talk about this? There's so much I cut out of that was just like would have gotten me like in trouble on YouTube. Like some of that was pretty intense, but I cut out the most intense parts, and it probably would have been more appropriate to upload it to let's say some different sites on the internet besides besides YouTube. Florence has got to jump and tell everyone about the dock surfer. You're talking about that? Yeah, when me and Ryan had dinner on the dock out in what city was that? Was it Cocoa Beach? Oh, Vincent Guastini, how are you doing, buddy? There was a surfer there, and he was like surfing in front of the dock, and Ryan was inquiring if that was a bad idea because he would crash. If he got a wave, he could crash into the dock and get ripped apart with barnacles. And we asked the waitress, and the waitress said, "Yeah, that's really, really dumb. They're not supposed to be doing that." Tom Entertainment, did you ever try Chicken Guy in Gatlinburg? Yes, it's been a few years. Shepard Johnson says, what's your longest day on the road, time and mileage? I don't know. I would say I drove from my home in Waynesville to Dallas, Texas. It took me 14 hours. For a while, I said that was the longest. But honestly, like, just the other day, like, when I drove almost 4 hours to Augusta, Georgia, and I drove 9 hours from Augusta, Georgia to Cincinnati all in one day. So I guess that's not 14 hours. That's about 13 hours. So 13, 14 hours. I'm trying to think if I've ever driven longer than that. It's possible. It's entirely possible. I didn't get a chance to go to the Loveland Castle today. I was considering it, but I had to make a judgment call, and there was another spot that won out. There was both things that would only be opened to today. Do I ever take airplanes? Occasionally I'll take an airplane. Attic Eyes, thank you for the super chat. It's great content lately. Keep it up. Well, thank you. I go to the D23 Expo this year. I do want to go to D23. I'm hoping to purchase some tickets. Dave Henson asked if I'll post my friend code for Pokemon Go. I can't. I have too many friends. I don't have any room for more friends. I may go through it at some point and get rid of people that don't play anymore, and then maybe I'll put it out again. Scott Felton, thank you for the super chat. It says, work hard like Jacob. Well, thank you. I try to work hard. Whitechapel Ghost videos. How about international coverage? Not yet. Rainy Part asked, why didn't I buy a Toyota? I've just been happy with the Equinoxes. I wasn't really looking to switch cars. I've been happy with the Equinox. The past 2 cars I've had have been Equinoxes. It's what I'm comfortable with. It's what I know, so it's what I chose to stick with. I didn't really see a reason to like go down another path. Ella asking about Lagoon and Primordial. Yeah, I definitely want to come back and go back to Lagoon. J5 Studios, thank you for the super chat. Golden Lamb is a haunted hotel in Lebanon, Ohio. Has a really creepy doll room with ghost fingerprints on the glass. Oldest in Ohio. Shelby Richardson, have you been to the new aquarium in Branson yet? How does it compare to Ripley's Gatlinburg? The new Branson aquarium, the one shaped like an octopus, it's really fun. It doesn't really compare to the one in Gatlinburg. The one in Gatlinburg is just so good. It's one of the best in the country. Vincent says, born and raised in Jersey City, White Horse Pike, avoid at all costs, Twilight Zone Highway, no U-turn for miles on the road, LOL, have fun out there. Going to the Mask Fest, headed there. Mask Fest? No, I don't know about Mask Fest. Anyone said my voice sounds like Drew Carey? No, you're the first person to ever say that. No, seriously, no one's ever said that. American Girl says I should be in Ripley's for going to all the Ripleys. They did share when I went to every Ripley's. They did share it on their social media. Kevin Luss says, you see the Green Eyes Festival in Chickamauga, Georgia. Yeah, I did. I don't know if I'll be able to make it, but I am interested. And I'm really interested because I don't know anything about Green Eyes. That's a new one for me. So I don't know. It's almost more exciting because it's something new to learn about. Rainy Party says, what's your go-to keto meal on the road? Barbecue joints, no sauce. Yeah, I'm not strictly keto, so I will eat the barbecue sauce. I just try to keep it low carb, so I just go with no bread. And, I go with the sauce. To me, it's about making better choices, not complete elimination. Oh, Vincent, sorry, Trans World. Yes, I will be at Trans World next weekend. I'm going to be rolling into town Wednesday, I think, and I'm going to be leaving Sunday. I'm not really like, one thing I choose to eat this way is because like bread is not as important to me as it is to other people. Kick it, Oblivious. Thank you for the super chat. Tara says, if you could live anywhere in the U.S., where would you live? I guess where I live now, because if I wanted to live somewhere else, I would go live somewhere else. You know, I chose to keep the house. I chose to buy the house from my ex-wife. I didn't have to. At one point, she had wanted me to agree to just sell the house, and then we'd split the money. But I don't know. Two reasons. One, I really wanted my daughter to be able to have the same house for when she came home from college until she gets established. And then the other reason was I'm fine with the location I'm at. The weather's beautiful. It's secluded. And I'm on the East Coast. I'm in the middle of the East Coast. It's 9 hours to Orlando. It's probably about 8 hours up to Washington, D.C. I can pretty much be anywhere on the east, pretty much be anywhere east of the Mississippi in 2 days drive. So that works for me. I'd like to be able to get out to the West Coast more, but man, I don't know how anyone affords to live on the West Coast. And plus, if I, yes, Morty, I am in Cincy, as they call it. Have you ever seen the dinosaur tracks in Glen Rose? Asked Bubba. Yes, they were underwater though. The river was filled in, so they were underwater. You could still see them though, and they're really cool. I'd love to see it sometime when the river's not full. Jay Ram said, I live in California. It's impossible to get an apartment on your own. Yeah, stuff is so expensive out there in California. Clayton Sleep says, Carpetbagger, why have you not done Jungle Gyms? I've been to Jungle Gyms multiple occasions. Thorn Mage, the ghost of Hug and Molly, said to haunt Abbeville, Alabama. I almost went over there when I was down in southern Alabama. I just could not. I don't know. I didn't really know what to go. There is a restaurant called Hug and Molly's, but it was closed when I could have gone. So I didn't know what else to show. It's one place going to a place, but you got to have something to show if you're going to talk about it. At least that's in my head. That's how it goes. Hardest Hearts is a bit ticked off. YouTube unsubscribing from your channel. I have no idea why. Sorry about that. I hear that a lot. I don't know. Like, people say they're unsubscribed from me. I don't know what causes that. I mean, I definitely would recommend people double check and make sure you're subscribed. I don't know what else to do. Like, YouTube. There's no sense complaining to YouTube because they'll just say nothing's wrong. But we're at the mercy of YouTube. And I don't like to complain about YouTube because it's given me so much. Ryan says, thoughts on The Rock being in WWE. I like it. I think it's starting to work a little better. I don't know if it was the best way to reintroduce him, but seems like they're starting to get it on track. Handful Heartful says, how can trolls have a channel just stealing your work? I don't know, but they can. Honestly, like, here's my thoughts on it. Like, I used to get mad, and there was a time when I would go seek out the troll channels, and if they were just using my content without, outside the realms of fair use, then I would strike it. But I found out that just gave them the attention they want and gave them an opportunity to play victim. And I've learned that just generally on YouTube, it's just almost like an unspoken rule. Like, I don't know, like you're not usually if you issue a takedown notice, people tend to look at you as the bad guy for whatever reason. I understand that better now than I did then, so I don't do that anymore. There may be, I'm not monitoring the trolls to seeing what they're doing. I'm not really concerned about it. I'm not, there probably is people out there that are using my footage in a way that goes more than fair use, but I'm not going to strike them. I'm not going to give them that attention. If it gets to the point where they're showing whole videos or things like that, then yeah, I will step in. I have done a few where they're just re-uploading my content, just straight up stealing it and not adding anything to it. I've done takedowns on those. LC, thank you for the super chat. Hello from Connecticut. Love all your content, especially love the Oddities Expo and the two-headed dino. Thank you for being you. But, I'm not going to start a war. If they want to say whatever they want about me, have at it. The Toll Road, thank you for the super chat. Says, hit me up, Jacob. I'm in the area and open Monday. Well, thank you. I don't know how long I'm going to be here, but I will. Yeah, look, I think I'm going to be here tomorrow, but I'm not sure after that. J Ram, thank you. It says the trolls have nothing to some people. The trolls you have are nothing to some people. Oh yeah, that's absolutely right. There's people that, I've had some rough experiences, but there's some people that their lives are just turned into an absolute living hell from trolls to the point where it's not even worth being on YouTube. Look what Boogie's been through. It's just ridiculous. Christopher Walker says, Jacob, I appreciate you strive not to be political, but it bothers me that you don't edit out pro-Trump flags and anti-Biden material. You have shown no Biden fan or Trump, but if you show stuff equally, I don't agree with you at all. I show what I see, and people are allowed to make their own opinions. I'm not going to edit stuff out. I'm not going to try to I've showed something that's pro-Trump. Now I got to show something that's pro-Biden. Like, that's not even part of my brain or thought process. It's really odd thinking, at least for me. So yeah, back to the trolls. Like, whatever. I don't even know if what we're talking about is trolling. Like, if someone wants to make a video about me and say they don't like me or say bad things about me, I'm not going to take any action. So if you want to make a video about me saying bad things about me, go for it. I'm not gonna respond to it. I'm not gonna strike you. The only time I would take action is if they were trying to dox me, trying to trying to share my private information, if they are harassing, if it gets to the point of harassment, like I said, sharing information. The harassment that I've most worried about, that has been the hardest to deal with, is not people making videos. That's nothing. It's when it goes into real life, where people are harassing you outside of YouTube. That's when it gets scary. I'm not gonna try to silence anyone that has a negative opinion on me. It's whatever. No one likes to hear just like crappy stuff said about them. It would hurt anyone's feeling if you just clicked on a video and they're like, you're a loser, you're fat, you're whatever, you're a bad person. Like, obviously that's gonna hurt someone's feelings. But I've learned, like, just consider the source. Like, I trust you guys. Like, if you go and you see someone, Craig said, did someone say blur out Trump stuff? Yeah, someone did. If you go to a video and you see someone talking bad about me, if you believe them, then that's on you. I trust you guys to consider the source, to see who's saying these things. Look at what this person has done outside of that. Look at what kind of person they are, and make your best judgment. If you think did not say blur out Trump stuff, just not classy to have FJ be in a video and not research it. Yeah, that was like a joke. Like, it was an attempt at humor. Maybe it wasn't funny, but I didn't even know there was carbon slander. Yeah, I don't look at it anymore. I mean, I know it's out there because people will send me messages. Oh, so and so is saying bad things about you, or so and so is putting out videos. And you know what? I tell them, let them. It's a free country. It's a free internet. As long as they're abiding by the rules of YouTube, and what they're posting falls within the guideline, whatever, right? And I apologize if I called someone out there about getting annoyed about the political stuff. I'm a little irritable when it comes to that. I don't know. It's just, whenever anyone tells me what I should and shouldn't put in my videos, I think that's where that's one of the few spots where my rebellious streak actually comes out. Like, I just don't like to be told. I don't like to be told, these videos are my creation. They're a product of my imagination, my thought, my adventures. And I just don't like this. You shouldn't have put that, or you shouldn't have shown that. Like, obviously, if I personally, were to say something hateful or to do something disrespectful, I mean, maybe, but like, that's not even what I'm doing. So Handsful Heartful says the problem is not trolling, it's stealing your content, and they are monetized. I don't know. I mean, I don't know an example of someone that's like stealing my content and monetizing it. I mean, it's also a matter of like, is it even worth my time? Like, are they getting enough? Are they stealing enough views from me? I don't know. Here's the thing about trolls is the trolls watch your videos. Like, so some of you guys probably don't watch every video. Like, probably the average person that is a viewer of these videos probably does not watch every video. They probably watch a video when it's something they're interested in. There's probably a percentage that watch every video. Like, I couldn't be more thankful. But I'll tell you what, like, anyone who's who's making a hate channel or making a channel, obviously they're watching the whole video. Like they're watching it. They're watching it so that they can complain about it. Jay Ram says it's hard to keep up with everyone I'm subscribed to. I understand that. Like, I don't, I don't expect, I don't expect anyone. Like, I don't take it for granted one bit that, you know, any minute, any moment that you're spent watching these videos is a moment you could be doing something else. You could be skiing. You could be spending time with your family. You could be flying a helicopter. You could be, petting your dog. You could be at the zoo. You could be, did I say surfing? You could be surfing. You could be in a hot air balloon. You could be on a computer. Um, you could be emulating some old games. You could be, you could be out tasting wine in wine country. Any moment that you're not doing some of these things and instead are watching my videos, I greatly appreciate. Sugar Witch says haters gonna hate. Thank you for the super chat. And yeah, absolutely. You're not gonna stop someone. There's no stopping them. You're not gonna be able to get in their mind and change their mind. Like, and these people, if someone doesn't like you, there's no point in trying to impress that person or try to convince that person. The person's made up their mind. If there's no, I don't have to defend myself against anyone. I don't have to defend myself against any accusation. And neither should anyone here. Like, it's like, live your life. Live your life how you want. And if someone else has a problem with it, like, that's their problem. The worst thing we can do is change our behavior to try to impress someone that we have no respect for. Bush Killer, thank you for the super chats. Hi, Carpetbagger. I've been watching since the start of your channel. I thank you and I for these good landmarks. I've been to a few. Well, you're very welcome. Thank you. Thank you for watching. And thank you for the super chat. So yeah, I think that's one thing I really want to promote. Really want to put out there is, like, do for yourself. Do what makes you happy, as long as it's not infringing on the rights of anyone else. Absolutely, 100%. Do what makes you happy. Don't ever do something to try to impress someone that you yourself do not respect. Like, I've listened to advice, talking to Adam or Boogie or Dan Bell, maybe they've given me some advice along the way that I did take to heart. Maybe I did change something. But, like, just some random person that doesn't know me, like, and doesn't, like, I don't care. I don't care what they think. Ryan Odall. So speaking of someone using your blogs, a channel called Theme Park Crazy just used an old POV Jurassic Jungle Boat. Right? They had permission. Theme Park Crazy, I gave them blanket permission to use any of my POVs as long as they give me credit. They did ask. They went to me and asked. So that's a lot more than a lot of people would do. Kyle Walker says, Theme Park Crazy is super good at asking. They asked my brother, and he has his one video with 300 views. Yeah. I think Theme Park Crazy always gets permission, which is good practice. I try not to use anyone else's footage, like, because I don't really make that type of video. So generally, everything I show is filmed by me. Barb's Life says, impressed how neat and organized your house is with all your collections. That's Jen. Like, that's Jen. Jen is the organized one. I can't take any credit for that. Toll Road, thank you for the super chat. Says there's a troll pub in Dayton and Louisville. I think I've been to, not, I don't know if I've been in, but there was like I think they have a statue on the street of a troll in downtown Louisville. James Mashburn, thank you for the super chat. Says we've been watching since your Murphy NC video back in the day. We were in Hayesville, North Carolina. Keep up the good work. Yeah, I filmed out in that area a lot in the early stages of my channel. Jeremy Benton says, are you taking suggestions for haunt season? Generally, like, if you want to, like, a big thing for me is like I like to be involved. Like, if haunt wants me to come out, you know, they can contact me. I don't. There's a few haunts like that I would go ask, you know, permission, but like at this point, like, you know, I'd like to have haunts that are, you know, like pre-cleared, if that makes sense. Like, I want haunts that want me, not necessarily begging for permission. Eric Daughtry, thank you for the super chat. How is the gas mileage in the new car? Gas mileage is so far so good, I think. I think it's about the same as my last car. Metallic fan says, have you ever been to the Three Stooges Museum in Philadelphia? I think that's been closed for a while. Like, it is definitely like limited how many haunts I can do, because haunts are generally opened, you know, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Some only open Friday, Saturday. So there's only so many I can go to every year. Only so many slots. What was those awkward place someone recognized me? I've been recognized just in a few bathrooms. I've had I had someone recognize me when I was buying something embarrassing. We'll leave it at that. Bucket has, hey, Carpetbagger, I'm curious about your phobia of being covered in food. I think it just comes from my autism. I think that's like one of my sensory things is I just don't like, you know, the idea of food on my skin. How do I like Adam's New Place? Adam's New Place is super nice. Super nice. I'm super happy for him that he was able to get such a nice place. Adam worked hard. Adam worked so hard. Like, it's really discouraging to me to see people say negative things about Adam. Like, Adam quit his job and lived in his van so he could obtain his dream. And I think that, like, it's so disingenuous and so crappy to, like, begrudge him for finding success after taking, like, a huge bet on himself. Hansel Harples with Adam lived in a freaking van and people hate on him for his success. Yeah. Like, I don't know. I don't know what they want. J. Ram says, how hard was it for you to speak in front of the camera? You know what? It just gave me an idea when you said that. If it was difficult to speak in front of a camera, let me make sure everything is good here. And let's take a trip down memory lane. Because I was very nervous. You know, I was a very shy person, very, very, very introverted. And, you know, I wanted to make videos. At first, I wanted to make videos, but I didn't want to be in them. I just wanted to make videos. So let's see. Let's watch. Not my first video, but let's watch my first video done in my style. Let's see here. Let's open up YouTube and see if we can find it. Okay. Here, this video is 9 years old. And this is not the first video I ever put out. But this is the first video I put out that's really just in the style that I use now. So let me see here. Let's start this at the beginning. So there's me. You notice? No real mutton chops. Like, you can just see right there how nervous I am. Like, I'm not even moving. You can see I'm super nervous.
Hey you all, Carpetbagger here, coming to you live from the South, more specifically Waynesville, North Carolina, at the location of a little-known monument. As you can see here, we are actually in a residential neighborhood between two private residences.
Also, apparently I kept the video in selfie style the whole time.
This is actually a marker for the last shot fired in the American Civil War. Erected in 1923 by the Daughters of the Confederacy.
This is kind of like
known for such other great Confederate monuments as Stone Mountain.
So it's kind of almost like a test, this video.
Disputed monument. Various other places also claim to have had the last shot. Of course, it's kind of hard to determine.
Linda Solis is just you so much better now. Yeah.
Send out a tweet letting all the soldiers know. Not
pretty cringy.
Most mainstream
Gotta start somewhere, though.
Historians do dispute this. The accepted last shot in the Civil War is actually
camera work's not good. Bouncy.
Known as the CSS Shenandoah.
My voice sounds weird.
Continued shooting people until November of the same year. It says May on this if you can't see it. Actually, they had continued attacking merchant ships. Captains of other ships give them newspapers saying, hey man, war's over, don't shoot us. But just to be safe, they kept killing people, kept taking cargo, until finally they were convinced that war was indeed over. They couldn't return to America because while all Confederate soldiers were given a pardon, they were considered pirates. So they turned themselves into England, and was actually documented.
I don't remember my voice ever sounding like this, to be honest.
British soil, where they were seen not guilty of all war crimes. But still, this is pretty cool. Unknown little monument here in the little sleepy town of Waynesville, North Carolina. Check out my website, www.carpetbagger.org. I talk about the South, roadside attractions, other strange things, and I'll see you later. Thank you.
And figured out my outro then. Oh, I don't know what's starting now. Pause that. So yeah, 9 years ago. I can't believe that was 9 years ago. Wow. So yeah, I mean, I got really nervous back then, being just filming. There wasn't even any people around, and I was nervous. I was nervous someone might see me talking to the camera. I don't know, I just got so used to it. Like, I'm so used to talking to the camera. I don't even think about it anymore. I think I'm more comfortable talking to the camera than I am talking to a person. Oh, Jen says, your voice sounds like that when you're super nervous about something. Okay, so apparently that is my incredibly nervous voice, because I was incredibly nervous about filming. So Jen says, sometimes when I'm incredibly nervous, I still sound like that. Yeah, that tracks. That tracks. Linda Solis says, we searched for watching your videos in the pandemic and noticed your newer videos are better. Yeah, sometimes it's hard to watch the older videos just because of like the poor quality. Like the video, like just my filming is bad. Like my filming probably still is technically bad, but at least I kind of figured out what works. Like I move the camera around too much. I would zoom it in and out. I would bounce it around while it was being zoomed. Like, ever get dirty looks from people when filming? Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes. Usually, like, younger kids, like, know what I'm doing. Some, like, times, like, kids will come up and want to talk to me about YouTube just because they know what I'm doing. But, you know, sometimes people could get... That's the one time... That's like the only time, like, that I'll break, that I can't keep talking, is if someone is just, like, staring at me while I'm filming. Like, it's just too, like, when you can see someone's eyes just glaring at you, like, ugh. Oh, look who else is here. Dead City Circus Sideshow. Come, they must have heard Jen in here. Eric Lemmy says, how cool was it to first meet the Lizard Man in person 2 nights ago? It was really amazing. I was very nervous to meet the Lizard Man. He was super nice, super cool guy. I remember seeing, I'm trying to think. I remember seeing him. I think the first time I saw him was on like a talk show in the 90s. I don't think it was Jerry Springer, but like the whole shtick was like he was dating this normal looking girl, and it's like, you know, they were like, oh, my boyfriend is a half lizard or something like that. I don't know if anyone remembers that. Skelecat, thank you for the super chat. You ever been to a sketchy place while traveling or filming that made you nervous? Sometimes. I don't know. It just depends. Jenny Penny says hi and thanks for all the comments on my dress. It made me feel really nice. Yeah, Jen looked really nice in her dress. I don't get to see her in a dress too often. Robert Simpson, thank you for the super chat. Yeah, so I've been aware of the Lizard Man since I was like a teenager. Like, Ripley says he's the strangest man in the world. Forget the exact title they give him, but it's like world's strangest man. Okay, here it is. Official in writing, Dead City Circus Sideshow. Carpetbagger had no hand in the Gen setup. Absolutely true. Thank you. Thank you for the super chat, and thank you for clearing that up. Jeff DeLucas, any thoughts on the Gemini Giant? The owner is threatening to destroy or sell it. Okay. So, I want to be delicate talking about this. The Gemini Giant, which is iconic Route 66 site, it's in Wilmington, Illinois. First time I ever did the full Route 66. Toll Road, thank you for the super chat. Mount Rushmore of cryptids. Let's go Sasquatch, Loch Ness, Mothman. I'm not sure of the fourth. Chupacabra? Maybe. So we went by, me and Adam stopped by the Gemini Giant, and they had just purchased it. This lady, Holly, along with her partner at the time, had just purchased the Gemini Giant. And they were incredibly nice people. They were incredibly welcoming. They put a lot of work into it. Me and Adam bought some merchandise. They were so friendly. So they let us film. They were some very bright people. They had both lost their partners. They both were a widow. I guess it was a widower and a widow. They were both widowed. And they found each other. They were a couple. I guess they kind of made it their dream to fix this spot up. At some point, I don't want to talk about this. I don't want to get into like mass speculation, but at some point their relationship fell apart. The restaurant closed down abruptly. And at some point they separated. The gentleman, who I'm just blanking on his name, but the gentleman that was involved, he apparently either sold or got rid of. He's no longer involved. So the woman, Holly, is the sole owner of the Gemini Giant, of the Launching Pad restaurant. She's been posting on social media. She appears, I'm not a doctor. I cannot diagnose people's. It appears that she is having mental health problems. Also, it seems like she's very deeply into conspiracies, and has made some very rough, very inappropriate and uncalled for comments. She's made some anti-Semitic comments, which is just never justifiable, even if you are mentally ill. And she has destroyed things in the parking lot. She's broken things that she owned. Let's be fair, things that she owned, but she got a citation from the police for breaking the windows, smashing things from the Launching Pad restaurant in the parking lot. She apparently would park her car in front of the Gemini Giant to try to keep people from stopping and taking photos with it. So Skate acts as a far-right conspiracy rabbit hole. Yes. Far-right. Yeah, exactly. And so guess that brings us up to today, where she announced that she has talked to, I'll back up a little bit. The city offered to buy it at some point. I don't know. It didn't work. She didn't accept their offer, whatever it was. I don't know what they offered her. So she is selling off the physical giant. She is not I guess, making the choice. She is not selling the property, but she is going to sell the Muffler Man, the Gemini Giant, the physical. She said it also includes. Odin Bonzero said, sounds like Funtown Mountain. Some striking similarities, I will say there, Odin. So she announced that she talked with an auction company, that she's selling the Gemini Giant. The starting price, the starting bid, or she's auctioning it off. The starting bid is $100,000. She said if it does not sell, she will destroy it. So that's the story. How do I feel about it? I feel the woman needs help. I think it's a horrible, bad situation for everyone involved. I hope she gets help. I think if she destroys the giant, I just think that would be just devastating for everyone. You could possibly consider that that there's a possibility that the I don't know. I don't know. I can't get into her head. Some speculation that she's making this claim as a way to artificially inflate the price of the Gemini Giant to ensure that someone buys it so that she does not destroy it. So yeah, that's where it's at. I just hope someone buys it. I guess that's where I stand. The former partner did post on Facebook. He was defending her in some sense. Toll Roads is to fund Jacob to buy the Gemini Giant. Well, thank you. I'm probably not going to be able to scrape together $100,000. I hope someone buys it. And her partner put some comments out kind of defending her. He wasn't defending like her actions necessarily, but he said that people were antagonizing her, that people were leaving hateful comments. It's the internet. I don't doubt people. People were talking about, threatening her life or saying they wish she was dead and things like that, and that's not okay. But her behavior's not okay. I have sympathy for mentally ill people. I myself suffer from mental illness. But the thing about mental illness is it is not our fault, but it is our responsibility. And it is Holly's responsibility to get help for herself. And hopefully she does get to that point. I hope that made sense. I hope I summed that up. Okay. Yeah, give me $100,000 and I'll bet on it, but I don't have $100,000 that I could throw at the Gemini Giant. Well, she owns it, so technically she can destroy it. That's not good. That sucks, for everyone involved. But, yeah, technically, Dead City Circus Sideshow will be in Pigeon Forge in a couple weeks. You guys, are you gonna be there on pleasure or business? You're gonna be performing, or are you just going to enjoy Pigeon Forge? So she's also saying that if you buy the Gemini Giant, you also get the intellectual property rights to it. I don't know if that's true, because I don't know if there is anyone that holds the IP, because you will see the Gemini Giant used on a lot of stuff that I don't think people are necessarily paying anyone to use. It's one of those things you got to protect. They say you got to protect a copyright, otherwise, once it's been used enough times, it just becomes part of the open market. That's like the picture of the Sasquatch, with the arms posed. That apparently does not fall under copyright. The video falls under copyright, but apparently the image of the Sasquatch, that one frame of the Sasquatch that everyone knows with his arm, with her arms out, like that has been used so many times, and they didn't make an attempt to reel it in. So it was used so many times uncontested that it eventually became part of the public domain. So yeah, I don't think that necessarily. I don't think she necessarily can sell the rights, the IP rights to the Gemini Giant, because I think they're already in the public domain. I could be wrong. I'm not an attorney. That's just something, some conjecture that I've put together. Dead City Circus Side. You'll be there for pleasure after Trans World. I'm not going to be headed home yet after Trans World. I got another great adventure lined up after that. Mike D's Collections, after interviewing the Gemini Giant people numerous times in the past, it's a sad situation. It is sad, and I especially like if you met them before all this happened, it's extra sad because they were really, really sweet people. Roadside Explorer says she does not own rights to it at all. Do you know? So my understanding is no one owns the rights to it. Is that correct? I think it's something that you can just use. I don't think you can sell it or own it at this point. I think it's something that's been, like I said, like the Sasquatch thing. It's just been used so many times uncontested that it's just part of the public domain. So, okay. Guys, help me decide what to do tomorrow. I'm asking for some help here. I have two possibilities of things I might do tomorrow. I guess this will be spoilers, but do you want me to go to the... I may put a poll out. Do you want me to do... I can either drive up and do the Air Force Museum in Dayton, or I could do the Cincinnati Zoo. Because I've gotten a lot of suggestions for both. What would you guys like to see? Air Force Museum, zoo. Not both. I can't do them both. Not enough time. Air Force Museum, zoo. This is zoo. Okay, zoo's ahead one. Zoo. Oh, zoo's ahead two. Oh, now we're tied. Zoo, both, zoo, Air Force, zoo. I think zoo's winning. Zoo. Someone count the zoos and the Air Force. Oh my gosh, zoo. Is the zoo winning? Is the zoo winning? Jen votes zoo. Okay, Air Force, zoo. Can't decide. Air Force, zoo. Air Force Museum is free. Zoo. Air Force, both. Can't do both. Zoo, Air Force. Are people just typing zoo because it's only 3 letters? You guys want to see the zoo? Okay, someone go through. Someone go through and see who wins. Air Force has a dinosaur exhibit. It's still real. Rusty Shackleford says Cincy Zoo is crummy. Okay, like if you guys want me to go to the zoo, I will. I'm just, a lot of times the zoo videos don't do very good. That's the only reason I was like not going to do the zoo. All right, let me try something. Let me see. Let's create a post. I'm gonna create a post on because I'm realizing this is not, it's hard to keep track. Choose. What's the name of the Air Force Museum? Air Force Museum. All right. I'm posting the poll right now. So when you have a chance, you don't have to go do it right now, but when you're done with the live stream, or if you want to go right now and come back really fast, that's cool too. But if you want to go to the community tab, I was originally going to do the Creation Museum, but it's closed tomorrow. Oh, wait, with 12 votes, the Cincinnati Zoo is winning. Choose based on weather. Oh, yeah, you're right. Oh, man. What is the weather tomorrow? If it's pouring down rain, I shouldn't go to the zoo. Weather tomorrow. All right. It's 72 degrees and nice. So, all right, I'm leaving this in the hands of fate. All right, the zoo's still winning, but it's tightening up. Union Terminal. I've been to Union. I went to Union Terminal last year, so it's not been that long. Am I going to be able to meet Fiona? I don't know that much about Fiona. Fiona's like a hippo, some sort of hippopotamus. She's a premature hippopotamus. She weighs 2,000 pounds. Born in 2017. Named after the Shrek character. Do they have Fiona plushies? I mean, I'm sure they have hippos, but like, it's got to like say Fiona on it, right? Like you could get a hippo anywhere. Do it for Harambe. Oh my gosh. Harambe. I don't know if I should. Is that a sore subject there at the zoo? Do they want you to? Mary Hendricks says, "Stop spending money on crap." What the hell are you? What the heck? There's a is there a statue of Harambe? Is that real? Oh, if there's a statue of Harambe. Okay, there is a statue of Harambe, but it's not at the it's not at the zoo. Yeah, I mean, I spend my money however I want. Like, yeah, I don't know. Freewheeling says, love your channel. Sorry if you answered this already, but do you know who made Clark? I'd like to buy a similar creature from its creator. Oh, thank you for the super chat. Freewheeling. I did find it. Let me see. Oh my gosh. Let me see if I can find. I found it before. Yeah, because you can go to and I remember go finding the reviews, and okay, this one has. Trying to see. Just look for. Okay, I think this may be it. Okay, here it is. Anyone interested in getting their own Clark? This is on Amazon. Falcor the Luck Dragon. The seller is Nebwe. And you can see, okay, so this is just, for those of you who've been following along, this is the site where they advertised that they were making these replicas of Falcor. You can see they look pretty good. That's a pretty good replica of Falcor. Look at that. It's like really big. You can hold it. But let's go here to the customer reviews. We'll see the customer reviews. And here's the images. You can see different versions, cousins of Clark. It says, please don't bother. This says, not like the picture, but could be worse. But yeah, you can see it's fake. Do not buy this. Here is a Clark cousin there. So they do mention Harambe. In the timeline. So there's a lot of history. I guess you got Harambe, you got Fiona, you got Martha, the last passenger pigeon. Let's check on that poll. Yeah, the zoo's winning. Did I hear about Six Flags Over Georgia? What happened at Six Flags Over Georgia? Did you hear about Six Flags? That's never. For some reason, I just feel like this isn't going to be good news. Let's see, Six Flags by the news. There's been a fatal shooting. Oh, there was a huge brawl that led to, this was just a day, this was like just recently. This was the grand opening of Six Flags. Mobs of unruly teenagers fighting in the park, leading to the police shootings. This is bad. Oh, that's a bummer. Wow, what a crappy way to begin your season. And you can see here Newsweek and their crack reporting says Six Flags Over Georgia stormed by unruly crowd. And they have a picture of Six Flags Magic Mountain in California. Yeah, I hate it. I hate shootings. I hate, yeah. Hate when anyone gets shot. If Guntown opens this summer, I will definitely go to Guntown if it opens. I think it's been a while. They sold it. The last one, the Frogettes, sold it, and I don't think it ever. Hansel Harpel says, please do a video of spending money on useless crap. I believe we've done that before. Ryan says, can you believe Six Flags NOLA has been abandoned for 20 years? That's crazy. Man, I can't believe Katrina was 20 years ago. That's nuts. Wow. Listen, people say that cities aren't safe, and I think it's true, generally true that urban areas, have higher crime rates, mostly because more people live there. But what I've found is, and in my experience, working in social services, um, most crime, like, involves people that know each other. Um, there's very little, like, when you look at like senseless, when you look at like senseless shootings, like, that's not like an urban problem. That's like, we'll say what it is. It's white kids that shoot people, white people that shoot people. But as far as like crime that happens in like, cities, like, it's mostly people that know each other, people that are hurting each other or stealing from each other or killing each other. The cops shot, not the kids. Well, yeah. In this, it looks like the kids were brawling. The police opened fire in this particular incident. But I don't know. I travel around. I go to places that some people say are really dangerous, and maybe I'm just naive. But I think people need to understand that most crime happens. People commit crimes usually against people that that know each other. Sometimes you have to do things like car break-ins are a problem, especially on the West Coast, certain areas of the West Coast. That's an epidemic. Yeah, Ryan said as long as you're aware of your surroundings. Yeah, you know, stay aware of your surroundings. You know, Lion of Judas, as I walk through NYC in the middle of the night, for the most part, I feel safe. You know, walking at night by yourself, you know, it's probably more dangerous than during the day. Zoo View, thank you for the super chats. Thank you for all your wonderful adventures. One day on your way past, could I please ask you to look up, and if you think you'd like it, go to Tanganyika Wildlife Park. I mean, I'll look into it. I don't even know, where is that at? Head over towards Philadelphia. Don't forget the Vampire Museum. Oh, yeah. Forgot about that. I definitely want to check out the Vampire Museum. Like random street crime, like muggings, things like that. I mean, it happens. It happens. But, you know, you're much more likely to be hurt by someone you know, believe it or not. You should be more concerned about who you make friends with than which cities you visit. Teresa, whoa, Teresa Hill, thank you for the super chat. Little fox there. Chaos reigns. Will I go see the new Country Bear shows? Of course I will. Odin says, holler at me sometime. Let's do lunch. It's been a few years. Yeah, it's been too long. Been too long, Odin. I'd like to see you. It's been a crazy couple years. Dollywood opens in a couple of days. Yeah, Dollywood opens, I think, on the 9th. Yeah, Mutter Museum doesn't allow filming. Dambo is creating a troll for a park in Rhode Island. I want to see all the Dambo trolls. Some of them are in very remote areas. But we'll go to the presidential inauguration. Heck, maybe I will. Have ever been to Sylvan Beach Amusement Park? I have. They have the Laughland Dark Ride. Roadside Express, thank you for the super chat. Says the Fun House at Entertainment Junction is worth a stop alone. We were there last year and loved it. There's a fun house? There's a fun house? Now you're speaking my language. Now you're speaking about Entertainment Junction. So I thought Entertainment Junction was a... There's a fun house here? There's a fun house. I didn't know there was a fun house. Let's see what days old Entertainment Junction is open. This is the world's largest train, so I feel like I've been to the 3 different world's largest. Okay, it's open every day. All right. We'll see what happens. Thank you for the suggestion, guys. I do appreciate it. You can get presidential inauguration. Would you guys like to see me go to the presidential inauguration? Is that like something you'd actually want to watch me do? Ryan's got a good point. I'll have a very hard time going to the bathroom. Zombie Rabbit, thank you for the super chat. Hey, Jacob, while you're in St. Louis at Transworld, are you going to visit the Wax Museum or Lockleed's Landing again? Or how about the Ferris wheel at Union Station, not too far from Transworld? Yeah. I don't update the Scribble maps anymore. It just got to be too much. It just got to be too much. I don't know if this helps anyone. I do geotag every one of the YouTube videos. I don't know. I don't know if that helps anything, but I always put the location into Google. I don't know if that helps anyone look it up. Honestly, I don't even know what it does. I'm like jealous that I didn't get to go to the Strawberry Festival. I may try to go to the Strawberry Festival next year. All right, guys. Well, I have been on here for over 2 hours. I really appreciate the company. I got to edit my video for today. Whoop. Craig, thank you for the super chat. Since I watched most of your videos, keep up the good work. I'm looking forward to Transworld. And yes, everyone, I will be at Transworld. Please say hi to me if you see me. Don't come in here. Don't come in here and, be insulting. All right. I got to edit this video and then try to get some sleep. And then tomorrow I'll go to either the zoo or the Air Force Museum. And we will go from there. All right, guys. Appreciate it. And until next time, this one's in the bag.